Yahtzee.
Hey, welcome to the Review, a show where two small-town dudes give you our big, fun opinions. I am Troy to the max extreme.
I am JT3 Kai.
And on this fine Monday, we are gonna go over one of the other ones that slipped past my gaze this last year. A fun one, I heard. Called Game Night.
Yes.
From what it was pitched as, is a fun comedy that kind of goes off the rails a bit.
Yeah.
And it got pretty highly acclaim throughout the year. Everyone said, you need to probably see Game Night.
Yeah. We get these comedies every year where it's like, okay, we get it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Sure. You get some of the best comedic actors around, put them in a movie, but it always ends up kind of sucking.
Right. It's like, oh, all that fanfare and it's just this?
Yeah. But this is the one where it's like, they got this one right. Don't worry.
Right.
They got it right.
Right.
But did they really get it right?
Did they, though?
We'll see.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Okay, people. Whatever. We'll see.
Well, I mean, maybe.
I mean, comedy has been fucking up for like the last year or so. I mean, is this really
5?
You're not wrong. It's really hard to find a good comedy nowadays. Jesus Christ. But they're saying this one's good, so we'll see.
Well, what happened in a Game Night?
Aren't you doing any facts?
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell that we do this after our first show yet? Can you tell people?
Hey!
Hey! You were a hot dog.
Well, a Game Night premiered February 23rd, 2018.
Ooh.
Late winter release. Budget of $37 million.
Jesus!
That's what I thought.
Seems a little high up there for a comedy.
Yeah. Domestically, raked in $69 million. Worldwide, $117.5.
Sounds like a bit of a success.
Yeah, they doubled their budge.
Double the budge?
At least domestically, and then worldwide even made more so.
No. Oh, R2.
Rotten Tomatoes has an 84%.
Okay, it's high.
Not too bad. IMDb, 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Metacritic, 66%.
Whoa, meta.
Going down.
That's highly meta.
And a reviewer from Screen Rant gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
So I don't know what the percentage
very
is
middle
there.
of the road there.
Right. Probably around that.
Higher than middle of the road.
Between that 66 and a 7 out of 10. I'm going to say. Probably around there. That's probably what it would come out at.
Give about a C.
Should I do the math right
about
now?
A C.
Let me do the math right now. Well, 3.5.
Oh, you take it times 2. 335.
70%.
Yeah. So what the fuck?
Same thing as IMDb. Fuck me, right? What? If I could throw this question back at you, JT.
Well, I mean, I did it for the first one. Why don't you do it for this one? Try.
All right. Fine. Jesus. So,
Jesus Christ. What happened in Game Night?
So, there is this couple.
Yeah.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
Rachel McAdams and Jason Bateman.
Mm-hmm.
They are a highly competitive, at this point, single folk. And they meet at a trivia night at a bar. This is all the preamble to the movie right here.
Yeah.
From there, they find they both have a fun competitive streak, and they hit it off quite well.
Yeah.
They hit off so much so they become a loving couple and meet couple friends who enjoy their game nights.
Mm-hmm.
And one fateful game night, not Patrick Bateman. Jason Bateman's brother. Not American Psycho.
The serial killer.
His brother's coming back into town, but he
Yeah.
wants to throw a game night of his own.
Mm-hmm.
And where he is going to up the ante. And that ante is going to be a murder mystery party where things maybe go a little bit off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
And then hilarity and
So much so that they may not even know what's real and what's illusion.
And that, my friends, is a game night. That's game night right there.
It's a game night.
Mm-hmm.
Bada bing, bada boom, you got a game night.
Bada bing, got a game night. So what we were saying is
Yeah.
that it's loaded with comedic superstars.
Yeah.
I mean, we got Jason Bateman. He's great.
I mean, to be honest, I think Jason Bateman's the only guy that's like really held in high regard as comedic.
Yeah. Well, because really, the only other person that I knew from comedy in this...
Chelsea Peretti.
But she had a really small part.
Yeah, really small.
The guy from New Girl. I can't remember his name.
Yep. Yeah.
He's super...
I can't remember his name
he's
either.
super funny in this.
He
and
does
in New Girl.
an amazing impression of Denzel Washington throughout.
Oh my God, does he? And then... So it's... And I actually really liked Rachel McAdams in this, too.
Oh, yeah.
She complimented Jason Bateman very well.
Oh, yeah. Rachel
and even held
McAdams...
her own.
Rachel McAdams is not really well known for comedy, but holy shit, is she hilarious in this.
There is a scene in this where she assumes she's holding a fake gun that made me crack up very many times.
They do like a selfie where she holds it in her mouth. It's so good.
So this is going to be spoilers aplenty here, but I want to kind of tell it as the movie progresses.
Gotcha.
So Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams are throwing a game night like they do so many times at their humble abode, and they have their couple friends coming over. My favorite character in this, the neighbor cop.
Yes. I was waiting for you to say. I knew you were going to say it. I was waiting for you to say it.
Oh, that's my only note.
Jesse
Cop
Plemons.
neighbor is great.
Jesse Plemons in this is so fucking good. I will say, like flat out, this is probably unnecessarily the best filmed comedy I've ever seen in my entire life.
I don't know if I can make that claim.
Like, this movie was like, let's take this script for like a B-rate comedy and hire the best cinematographer we can find. Where it's like, these shots do not need to exist in this movie.
Right.
But they do, and I love it.
Yeah. This movie looks great for what it is. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Why this movie looks as great as it... Because, like, if it
This
didn't...
movie feels like it was made on a dare. Because it's, like, legit, like, just a regular run-of-the-mill comedy. Granted, it is written really well. Like,
Right.
all the comedy sticks. But the scenes, like, the transitions they do, where, like, they do this weird camera angle where it makes, like, real world look like a game board.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, why? Like, I love it, but why?
Right. There's no reason other than just, like, this should be fun.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this would be a fun thing to do.
But, like, they do it in a way where it's like, is this real? And then they zoom in where it's like, holy shit, this is real.
Mm-hmm.
You used a real camera to film this. Jesus.
Yeah.
like, it is so well done in how it's shot for, like, a movie that should not be handled with so much care.
Yeah. And it elevates this movie quite a bit.
Oh,
just those flourishes of stuff like that.
Yeah, so well.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that, like, really, this movie is like a more hardcore, fucked up game of Clue.
Yeah.
Really.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like so much like who murdered who, but like it is like kind of like a kind of a mystery or unraveling a bit.
Yeah.
Like you kind of get the gist of it, like like halfway through the movie or whatever.
Yeah,
but it's
but
still
even then, when you get the gist, then it still kind of throws you off at the very
yeah. Oh yeah, it does. And, like the credit sequence, I was not prepared for that. But so like the whole linchpin of this movie is that Jason Bateman's brother, when he comes to town, like Jason Bateman's like, oh yeah, well, he's coming to town, yeah, whoop, he's great.
Oh man,
whoop-de-doo, or whatever.
Dude, his brother in this is so fucking good. He's like, he's played by Kyle Chandler, that I've seen him in a bunch of shit, but like, he is such a good, like, just condescending asshole brother. Like, he does everything in the nicest possible way, but everything he does is so condescending towards Jason Bateman, where it's like, to everyone else he seems like the nicest guy ever, but but like through Jason Bateman's eyes, he's the biggest fucking dickhead.
Like one line, for instance, was like they went to go see his rental house. He comes in and Jason Bateman's like, geez, you're like Tony Stark in here, man. Like, when's Jarvis gonna talk to me? And he's like, I got the Tony Stark thing, but you're totally fucking go off the rails with nerd shit.
You're kind of getting nerdy with the whole Jarvis thing. Like,
I couldn't follow that nerd shit.
He just makes him seem like like such a fucking idiot. It was like, oh yeah, Tony Stark. Oh, Jarvis. Okay, whatever, man. Like,
like,
you lost me.
Up.
Yeah. You're kind of going nerdy on me.
Oh god, stuff like that. Then,
or like when he goes, like they do like an initial game night where he just shows up at their house and he's like, "Oh wow, this is a cute house." Like, it reminds me of our parents' house. Like,
meanwhile, that house is like immaculate.
Yeah, it's like a really nice house, and it's like, yeah, this is nice. This is cute.
Yeah, it's a nice, cute little house. It's like mom and dad's. So after that game night where he's at Jason Bateman's place, like, next time once you come out, we'll up the ante. We'll make it really interesting.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So they show up to his rental place, and he's like, I don't got any good board game to play. We're going to do a murder mystery game party thing. Where I've hired the best place in town to do this kind of thing. And so it's going to be real, simulated. You won't know fact from fiction.
Yeah.
And so that spurs off the whole thing where there is where the bomb drops.
Yeah.
Is that somebody may not be too happy with old Bateman's brother. I wish I knew his name, but I don't.
Yeah.
And so they come to kidnap him. The whole time, the rest of the game audience is just like, man, this is so real.
That whole fight scene is amazing. There's like a scene where like one guy is holding him on his shoulder while the other guy is grabbing his head and punching him repeatedly in the face. It is so fucking good. Like he like pulls a knife on them.
Right.
They're just like, that whole fight scene is awesome. Like he gets thrown through a fire at one point.
He gets slammed on a glass table, but it doesn't break.
Yeah, this ongoing joke where glass tables don't break, and everyone is just stunned that that
like,
never...
That is a strong-ass table.
Something is going weird with glass tables tonight.
And so, like, the rest of the game party is, like, witnessing his brother getting the shit beat out of him, thinking it's a whole act or whatever.
Yeah.
Ends up really getting abducted, and they're like, well, I guess the game is on. I guess we should figure this out.
And I love that
the prize is like that, what is it, like a Shelby Cobra?
Yeah, the Stingray.
Oh, the Stingray or something like that.
Yes, I fucking love the dumb blonde guy in this.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen him in so much shit this year where he just plays like, he's either like the douchey, coked out jock guy, but in this he plays like just a total dense idiot.
Right.
Where... He is so fucking good in this. Like, all of his, like, weird out there lines where everyone's like, no, stop. No. Yeah. Like, his whole thing is that he brings, like, idiot, chicks that are dumber than him but are, like, really hot to game nights, and he ends up just totally getting obliterated all the time.
Right.
So, like, because, like, the brother, like, promises this is going to be like a really big one and you need to like really up your game, he brings like a chick from his work that has a British accent. So he thinks like, well, she's smarter because she's got a British accent. But yeah, so like he says like the winner of the game gets the keys to the Stingray, and he's like, just the keys?
No, it is the car.
The car. Oh!
So he, and what's fun in this too is that once like the quote game starts, like the couples break off in their own separate groups. And have their own little.
I love that too. Like they all have their different like agendas to like try and like figure out how to win the game. Like they all cheat, which I love.
Right.
None of them follow the game. They're just like, how do we cheat to
how
win?
do we get immediately to the end?
Like one couple is just gonna go to the company and like pay them off, and the other, like and then Jason Bateman, Rachel McAdams are like following the brother's GPS on his phone.
Right.
Like they're all cheating. None of them are actually following the game.
Right.
Like the game falls apart like square one.
Immediately it falls apart.
They're just like, how do we cheat to win this?
Right. I gotta look up some of these people on my phone here.
And then the guy from New Girl and his wife, they have this ongoing thing where before the game starts, they play Never Have I Ever, and then the first question is Never Have I Slept with a Celebrity, and then she drinks, and he's like, what? Like we've been together since like middle school.
Yeah.
So he's like trying to like badger her about who she slept with,
which is super fun.
Oh, it's so fucking funny.
Lamorne Morris is his name.
Yeah.
So like, at first she's just like, oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I just took a drink when he's like, no, bullshit.
Bullshit.
Who'd you sleep with? And then she tries to throw back at him that he got like an over the pants handy or whatever. He's like, no, that didn't count. It hurt or whatever. And so like and then he finally was like, if I guess it, will you say yes? And she's like, sure. And he's like guessing all these people for like,
they'll do like things where like they're just like doing like random things trying to figure out something, and they'll be like, Bill and the Science Guy. What? You slept with Bill and the Science Guy.
All that sciencey shit you giving Bill and the Science Guy?
Yeah. All these like science theories. You probably fucked Bill and the Science Guy.
And then at one point he does guess. She gives him hints that it's like a popular celebrity in like the 90s or something like that. What does he say first? That's like a way out there one. And she's like, oh, no. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It was super obscure. And then he was like, Denzel Washington. She's like, no. But that circles back to that a few other times, which the reveal is instantly gratifying.
I know, I love. Yeah, it comes down to where it is. She says that she did sleep with Denzel Washington, but it's a guy that kind of looks like him,
but not really.
Not really at all. Like the picture they show of her with him, and he has the largest fucking nose ever. Like it takes up the whole picture. And, like they show like the flashback of her being like, yeah, like I just met him at a gas station and we got together and we hooked up at a hotel, blah blah blah. Where it's like, that's not Denzel, but okay, maybe they're trying to play it off like it is Denzel for the movie. And they like, no, we took this picture and he shows the picture on the phone, and they show us how unlike Denzel he looks. Where like, that's not, even if this movie's trying to play off this guy's Denzel, then fuck this movie. He's like, that's not Denzel. Like, good, thank you.
That was one of my favorite running gags in the whole thing. It was just that.
And even like when he's like, so what? Like you had sex at his place? Like, yeah. Like, where was it? Oh, it was like a condo with 2 bedrooms and a office for his dogs. Like, that's not Denzel. It's so fucking good. And then, like, the fact that he has, like, the best Denzel impression ever.
Yeah, it is really
It is, like, spot on. Like, he just keeps doing it. Like, you want Denzel? Ha ha! Like, you know, like... Oh, my God. It's fantastic.
And then the dense guy with the British chick, they go right to, like, the company to figure out, like, just to pay him off to figure out what, like, the...
That scene where he's giving her the money. They just show him, like, slowly sliding bills to her, and it's, like, 5s and 1s.
Like, the first one is a $10 bill, and
Yeah.
she's like, what?
No.
So he's like, oh, okay.
Oh, I see.
Pulls out the one.
Sweeten the pot a little bit, I see. And just, like,
Starts
slide
slowly
the-
sliding a 5 over, and then a 1, and then, like...
okay, last offer.
All right.
And then it's like,
you asked for
as
it.
slow as possible, he's sliding another 1.
The British chick is like, what are you doing? It doesn't matter how slow you slide anything. You gave him $17.
Yeah, how much money did you bring? $17.
But Chelsea Peretti was good in this too. For the small part that she had, that was really great.
Like, she was, like, pregnant while he was filming too. So it's like, wow, they have a scene with a dead pregnant chick. Like, no, I'm just pregnant.
And then Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams end up, like, tracking the brothers' GPS to this bar.
Yeah,
where
I think, like, Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams are so fucking good in this.
Me too.
Like, their whole thing in that bar.
Right,
where,
yeah.
like, she's making them do child's pose and to get down.
Yeah.
It's like,
how do I put my head down and my hands up? You
yeah,
can't do
she's
it.
just, like, yelling shit like, hands up, head down.
Child pose. Child pose.
Yeah. Like, child's, like... And then she's, like, teaching him how to do it.
Right.
Or, like Jason Bateman's, like, holding the gun all weird because he thinks it's fake. Like, you'll know you're doing it right when your whole back feels like it's opening up. And they're, like, just making him get down because they have a whole gun on him.
So they end up getting the brother and then finding out that the gun is real by it going off and shooting Jason
Bateman in the
right
arm. Yeah. Oh, God. The scene when they're trying to take the bullet out is so good. They go to a drugstore and they find that they don't have any hard liquor or they don't have any, like, hard liquor to, like, disinfect the wound, so she buys a nice Chardonnay and just pours it on the wound. And then, oh my God, I was watching this in bed because, like, Molly was trying to sleep and I was watching on my phone, and I woke her up when they go to the scene when, like, she's trying to, like, make the small incision to, like, take the bullet out and just cuts his entire arm. It's like, too far.
Like, that whole arm gag is great because, like, even at the very end, like, somebody throws a knife or something.
Yeah, and it goes right in the bullet wound.
Right in the bullet wound. Ah, you threw a knife in my bullet hole. Oh my God, it's so good.
Oh fuck. But yeah, that whole scene in the bar, they're just being total idiots about, like, he makes them, like, we gotta test the bartender to see if he's an actor, and then Jason Bateman, like the Rachel McAdams and Jason Bateman, like, go up and, like, let's order, like, some really complicated drink to see if he's, like, a real bartender. Right. And then, like, Rachel McAdams, like, okay, I'll get a vodka tonic.
And I'll have a Harvey Wallbanger.
He gives, like, oh, I guess I don't really know what's in a Harvey Wallbanger, but it's delicious.
Whatever this is really good. It's citrusy.
Like, they're so fucking dumb, but they're like suburban couple dumb.
Yeah.
Where they're, like, out of their element, and it's everything they do in this is so goddamn funny.
Mm-hmm. So There is like a bit of a chunk of this, like right as like the movie gets to the ending, where I'm like fuzzy on because like I had a fussing baby at the time. So kind of fill me in on what's happening at like this chunk of time.
Well, they find out that this like gangster that has this gangster they think has the brother is after this Fabergé egg at this guy's mansion.
Right.
Which has a fucking awesome scene where they make it look like all one take.
Mm-hmm.
When they steal the egg and they go back and forth between everybody that's like throwing the egg to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's another one of those scenes where it's like, this doesn't need to be in here.
Yeah.
But like the fact that you put it in here, it's like amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's definitely are like points where it's like, okay, you cut here,
right.
but they make it look like it's all one continuous take where you're like, shit, this is like a scene that does not need to be in a comedy like this, but the fact you threw it in here was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Which also like ends with another scene where like someone falls into a glass table and doesn't break. But it's fantastic. And it also like has the payoff of like the dumb blonde guy always puts over that's like, rich people do these fight clubs in their basement.
Yeah.
And they go down and he's just like, there's a fight club in this guy's basement.
I loved that reveal where they walk into this mansion or whatever, and it's like empty.
Yeah, it's like, where is everybody? Like, there's like a party going on, but they don't see anybody, and they go down the basement.
Right, they go down there, and it's just like a ring of people in tuxedos, and these two brawlers just beating the shit out of each other.
And the guy
and then it circles around to his face, and he's like, "Fight club in a basement."
And they go to like the new girl guy, and he's like, "This is some Django Unchained shit." Yeah, so like he finds a Fabergé egg, and then he like runs away with it, and then they have this whole fucking thing that like it's like this one continuous shot where they follow the egg, where everyone's throwing it like football style to each other. Like, it's a really fucking well shot scene where it's like, you don't need to be in this movie, but the fact you are is amazing.
Right. Yeah. Like, I that's like the main theme of this whole movie, because like it is funny all throughout, because there's like a bunch of different comedy styles, and I love Jason Bateman as like doing his whole straight man thing.
Yeah.
But even this, he like kind of breaks from it because he's like kind of goofy or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you have like comedic actors, like the guy from New Girl. Like, he's pretty much the same character as that.
Yeah.
But I love it so much that it's good. And then you have people that you would never expect to be as funny as they are.
Yeah.
And they're just, like, cracking off jokes left and right.
Oh, yeah. Like, we kind of side-skirted it because we got into another tangent, but Jesse fucking Plemons in this.
Yes.
Even, like, how he's shot, because every time that he's doing a dialogue, the camera is slowly panning onto his face, where it makes it seem like a horror film.
Yeah.
When he's just talking about just like regular to do things, but he's just like so monotone, and the camera is just like slowly panning onto his face, where it seems like a horror film.
Right. I like it.
Like, oh, I see you have 3 bags of Tostitos scoops.
I think you brought this scene up to me once, and I remembered it as it was happening, and I was loving this whole scene. And Jason Bateman's like, yeah, they had a crazy 3-for-1 sale. Really?
That doesn't seem like a
thing that they would do.
It doesn't seem like a profitable scheme.
Crazy companies.
They'll just do like random shit where it's like, you were so much better than your wife at game. And I was like, I would find it better if you do not besmirch my wife's name. They're like trying to comment him, and he's just like, I would like it very much so if you don't talk bad about my wife.
Or
oh, never mind. Well, she was way better than you at game night or whatever.
Or like when they meet him at his door, and he's like, why don't you come in? And then he like
backs away,
slowly backs away to the darkness.
It's so dark, and I'm like, dude, just come in.
And then the whole time, like, Jason Bateman goes into like his house and like goes to like use his police computer.
Oh yeah, they're like using the police computer to find the guy that has the Fabergé egg, and he's like bleeding all over his dog.
And so he goes in and sees that this guy still has a shrine of his ex-wife, or it's his ex-wife, right?
Yeah, because the only reason they know him is because them as a couple used to come to the game nights, but they liked the wife more than him. And then after the wife divorced him, they just thought he was really weird, and they just tried to avoid him at all costs. But he's a next door neighbor, so every time they have a game night, he kind of catches on.
And he's like always in his police uniform, regardless if he's on or off duty.
I know, he's like, it's like 11 o'clock at night, and they go to his house, and he still has his police uniform on.
And so, by this point, when they go there, Jason Bateman's already been shot in the arm, and he's trying to, like, search all this stuff to get, like, this Fabergé egg, and the police guy's dog wanders in, and Jason Bateman's bleeding all over this dog, and he's trying to, like, clean up this dog and making it all worse.
Yeah, like, he uses, like, a t-shirt with, like, the wife's face on it, and then the dog, like, shakes it all off, and, like, just spreads blood all over the shrine, and he's just like, fuck it, and like, runs out.
Well, we gotta go. See ya. And then like just leaves. Oh my god. So it's what's the guy? It's like the Bolivian.
Yeah. Well, that they don't introduce him until like after like the first twist.
Right.
Which, god damn it, that first twist, like, I would have loved this movie so much more if, like, the first twist was just the end of the movie. Where it's just, like, you're led to believe it that it's just this crazy fucking convoluted plot of, like, these terrorists trying to kidnap his brother, and then just ends up being the fucking Jesse Plemons is the cop, hire these two convicts to kidnap the brother so that they would invite him to game nights more.
Right. But there's another layer on top of this.
Yeah.
Because Michael C. Hall is in this movie.
As the Bolivian.
It is the Bolivian, right? I'm not making this up? Okay, so...
Yeah.
And for, like, as big of a name as Michael C. Hall, like, how long is he in this movie?
Like, not, like maybe 10 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes.
Right. Because, like, I thought that, too, because, like, there's, like, points of this where I was, like, trying to, like, Macy was, like, going crazy wanting to watch Coco at this point, because I'm, like, almost at the end of this movie. She's like, Coco, blah! And she also has, like, an ear infection, all this shit. Yeah. So, like, some of these stuff I'm like hazy on, but then I came back into it, and I'm like, okay, Michael C. Hall's here. How did it get here?
Yeah.
So fill in that little gap for me.
Well, no, like, so the Jesse Plemons shows, like, reveals that the guys that have been doing all this shit all along were hired by him because they were ex-convicts, and he released them so that they could beat the fuck out of his brother and kidnap him so they would get him, and then he could put himself in the scenario where he would get shot with a blank and have, like, a squib go off so that he would be dying, and his last wish would be like, if I make it, would you invite me to more game nights? And they're like, yes, of course. Oh my god, we're so sorry. And then he just shows it that it's like a blood capsule, and then they have to invite him to game nights. But then he gets up, and then Michael C. Hall shoots him in the shoulder, and then shows up, and he's the actual Bolivian that is trying to get this. There's like a list inside the Fabergé egg that has like a bunch of like FBI witnesses or whatever in it. So then he kidnaps the brother because the brother swallows the list, and they're going to cut it out of his stomach on a jet. And then Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams get into a car and cut off the jet or whatever, and they do a bunch of shit. Like, there's some funny scenes in that too, where like this whole thing where like there's like Rachel McAdams is hiding behind this conveyor belt, and the guy's like standing right underneath this like giant wooden box, and they're like, turn on the conveyor belt, turn on the conveyor belt. He's like, oh yes. She turns it on, and it's just like super slow where the guy looks up and then just backs away as the box just like crashes in front of him. Like, it's so good. And then I think they have like the same thing where like like right in front of the jet after they crash it. Like he puts a gun up to her and she's like, "Don't kill me, I have kids." And he's like, "You don't have kids. You have too good of an ass to have kids." And she's like, "Oh, well, thank you." And he's just like, "You're no problem."
And then he gets like sucked into a
jet engine. He's like, "Yes! Oh my God, he's dead." Like she like brings it up again. Like, "Oh, I watched a man die." They just do like some shit.
But yeah, I liked like I don't even think we said like why everybody's even after like Jason Bateman's brother, because like Jason Bateman's brother like sells stuff on the black market.
Yeah. And he had got this Fabergé egg that he was supposed to sell to the Bolivian, who was Michael C. Hall, but then he sold it to this other billionaire that sold it, that like bought it from him for twice the price, and now the Bolivian wants to kill him.
Right.
So their whole thing is they're supposed to go to this billionaire's house that has the Fight Club in the basement to steal the Fabergé egg to give it to Michael C. Hall at the end.
Right. And so I really, when it all comes to a head, oh shit. We should also preemptively say there was an embarrassing story told that the brother to Jason Bateman says like,
he tried to tie his head in between his legs so he could suck his own dick.
Right.
Because that's how they tie Michael C. Hall's head, like hog tie him. They hog tie him like head into his dick with bungee cords.
Right. So that happens at the end. So like that pretty much wraps up that whole like mystery thing, and they kind of like from there like go on and like continue to have game nights or whatever.
Yeah.
From that point on. But then what I really like in the credit sequence is the whole freaking like the big diagram of pins going around of like the neighbor cop on his like secret basement shit of like connecting all the dots and making all these shit happen and all that kind of stuff.
Like the blonde guy has like a Harvard alumni like a fucking ID.
Like, and that string leads to something else, which leads to another like newspaper or a email clipping that says like 3-for-1 Tostito Scoops has never been a deal. And all that shit like that. The end credit sequence is like the just as equally on par as funny as like the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like this movie is like, it baffles me how good it is. Mm-hmm. Just because I'm so used to comedies just like having like some decent parts but just like shitting the bed altogether.
Right.
But this one actually pulls it all together where you're like, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop where it's like, I'm just waiting for you to just start being really shitty.
Right.
And it never does. In fact, it almost gets better as it goes along.
Yeah.
Where you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Someone made a good comedy for a change.
Right. Well, not only is it like a good comedy, it's like funny to listen, like to watch. It also has like an interesting like mystery aspect to it too.
Yeah.
And it's got action in it.
Yeah.
And so it's like mixing all of these things
and they
together.
Have a crazy fucking twist when they show that like the fucking Jesse Plemons cop like orchestrated all of it, and then it still ends up being like an action thing where like the Bolivian shows up and just starts shooting people.
Right. Like it's all these different layers that work really well together, and I think some other movies try to do stuff like this, but like it doesn't work as well as what it does here in Game Night.
Yeah.
Like I think everything worked together super well in this movie. And like even though like the $37 million budget seems like high at first, like the production value on this is actually pretty big.
Yeah, it's really, like I said, it's like super well shot, especially for like a comedy like this. Like I feel like like if someone were like to receive this script, like a lesser director or like production company or whatever would receive this script, this would have been made for like $10-15 million.
Yeah.
But like for some reason someone had like a bug up their ass where they were just like, let's fucking hire an amazing cinematographer
and
just get these picturesque fucking shots of just random scenes of just like of streets. Let's get a fucking awesome like shot of a street where it makes the street look like a game board.
Right.
And it's done practically. It's not even like done where it's like CGI or anything. It's like done in a way where like the camera is focused in a way where things are so out of focus around the outskirts and so in focus in the middle where it looks like a game board.
Mm-hmm.
Where I thought it was a model when they first showed it, and then they zoom in and you're like, oh fuck, that's real life.
This is real shit, man. Yeah, I thought like a ton of stuff worked in this. Where I was actually surprised just to see like its return on it is as low as it is, because I remember like a lot of fanfare for this movie when it came out. So like I guess I thought it was gonna be making more, because usually like if it is like a big comedy, it stays in theaters for quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
Because, like, when Hangover came out, that, like, took the world by storm, and that was in theaters for probably 6 months.
I want to say that there was another... I need to look to see what it is, but I want to say, like, another comedy that wasn't as good, but was still kind of decent, came out not too long after Game Night.
Oh, really?
And I can't remember what it is.
February? I couldn't tell you.
Fuck, I wish I remembered what it was.
Well, yeah, that's a shame, because, like, this movie is pretty stellar.
Yeah, because I remember another comedy came out where it's like, this is pretty good, but it's not as good. But it was, like, the newer one. So I'm trying to remember what it is. Fuck, I don't remember. But, yeah, without a doubt, especially from what I've seen, Game Night is the best comedy of the year.
Yeah.
That I've seen. Like, hands down.
I'm also trying to look it up at the same time.
Yeah, because I want to say there was, like, another comedy that came out, like, earlier in the year after Game Night where people were like, yeah, I went and saw this, and it wasn't as good as Game Night, but it was the newer one, so I went and saw it.
Well, it came out late in February because, like, Black Panther came out middle of the month.
Yeah,
but that wouldn't have been it.
I'm just gonna look up comedies in 2018.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I'm not.
It might have been. It might be Blockers.
Oh, it could have been Blockers.
Yeah, I think Blockers came... Yeah. Like, I think, like, Blockers came out and they were like, yeah, Blockers is good. Where I'm like, yeah, but it wasn't as good as fucking Game Night. Yeah, it was Blockers. I want to say it was Blockers for sure.
Okay. Like, Annihilation came out the same weekend, but that didn't get, like, a huge...
No, that didn't get a lot of buzz. Either. But yeah, I want to say Blockers came out and then it kind of overshadowed Game Night, but Game Night was way better.
Yeah, I'm trying to even see what went into March, and there's not much of anything in there, like Red Sparrow.
No.
But yeah.
Red Sparrow sucked.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to find anything big that would have came out, and like that would have been...
When did Blockers come out?
I haven't seen it yet. I mean, Wrinkle in Time came out early, but that didn't do anything.
No, that didn't do shit.
Yeah, there's like nothing. Like Tomb Raider, that didn't do really big. So like, I don't know why. Maybe it just was like a slow time of the year. After Black Panther kind of had its run, and they really weren't watching anything else.
Yeah. Well, I just think this is a matter of the fact that, like, comedies have been just so shitty lately. Like, it's so hard to find, like, a full-fledged good comedy.
Well.
And, like, now that, like, Game Night is probably, like, one of the biggest exceptions that I've seen in a long time. Where, like, they hit on pretty much everything, and nothing really strikes me as, like, disingenuous, where I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, I've seen so many comedies where I feel like there's, like, at least a 5 or 10 minute scene where you're like, okay, I just gotta wait through this bullshit and then see when it starts being funny again. But with this, it's like throughout, nonstop. It's good.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and just give it a full-on grade at this point. But, like, I really enjoyed this movie quite a bit, even though I got sucked away at it and, like, a pretty pivotal moment of the film.
Yeah.
But, like, I would give it, like, another solid A. Like, I think it's a super solid film.
Yeah.
I think it's funny, shot really well. Like, all the actors in it are great.
Yeah.
It's like got, like, a fun little twist in it. Like,
Yeah.
It's a fun premise.
Yeah.
So, like, I really enjoyed it. I'd give it a good A.
Yeah, no, I'm same. A, almost on the cusp of an A+, because this is probably one of the best comedies I've seen in almost years.
Yeah. It's really good.
It's fantastic. And the fact that it still boggles my mind how it's shot so well. Like, you don't need to be shot this well.
Just keep bringing that up.
It's dumb. It's almost dumb how well it's shot.
I kind of want to read some of the Metacritic reviews that are like that give it like that 66%.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know, like there's not a huge ton of weak points in this movie. I don't think. But I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. But I really enjoyed this movie quite a bit.
We just don't get it, Troy.
I guess not. I guess we're just fucking stupid.
We're fucking idiots.
But anyway, that's going to be it for the review of Game Night, JT. If people want to tell you how big of idiots they are, I'm going to turn it on its head.
Hey-o.
Where can they do that?
They can find me at Bucky Forever on Twitter, also Bucky Forever on Instagram, and him at Bucky Forever on Snapchat. Troy.
You can find me at Troy to the Max on Twitter. You can find us both at Review Pod on Twitter. You can also find us on Facebook if you wish. We are also up on reviewpod.podbean.com, as well as a few other sites such as Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Ever heard of them?
Got a bunch of them.
You could probably even listen to us on your Alexa devices. Heck, if you were so inclined to do so. If you happen to listen to us on Apple Podcasts, you can go ahead and give us a rate and review there if you wish. Because if you like the show, that helps other people find the show. And if you want to write in, hey, why don't you do so at reviewpod at gmail.com.
Yeah. Mail scream. We want to mail scream you.
Well, shout out!
Shout out!
With the mail scream to you. But that'll do it for this Monday. We got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse coming up later this week.
So many people are raving about this film.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be here to tell you if it's full of shit.
That's right. If people are just fucking stupid.
They're just a bunch of fucking idiots watching this shitty-ass Spider-Man movie.
Right. I mean,
it's probably awesome.
It's probably great. Who are we kidding? I'm trying to, like, bury the lead here. What are we doing? Then following Thursday, we're going to have the definitive answer if Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Yes or no.
That Monday, Christmas Eve, Die Hard.
Mm-hmm.
The review. Troy has not seen it yet.
Not yet.
This might be... Who knows? Troy...
Life-changing.
This might be the best movie you've ever seen in your entire life.
It could be. I don't even know.
Who knows?
I've just been sitting on this.
We got fucking Hans Gruber.
That's right. We got friggin'
John McClane.
Willis with hair.
Yeah.
When does that happen?
You got fucking Carl Otis Winslow.
Oh my!
Don't even as another cop.
Don't even tease me. I don't even know what I'm in for.
Reginald Vell Johnson as another cop outside of Family Matters. You are in for a treat, Troy.
Oh my goodness. Well, I can't freaking wait. But you know what? I guess I'll have to.
You have to.
How about it? So that's a slew of episodes we have coming down the pipeline.
Yeah.
We've even got Aquaman down further in the month.
Yeah. Leading into our best of 2018. Hopefully we get GHD back in here.
Oh, he'd be more than willing.
I'm sure, yeah. He'd probably move mountains to come over here just to tell us what he thought of the movie season of this past year.
That's right. So, that'll be the show for this Monday, JT. So until Thursday...
Talking about that Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's true. I've been Troy to the Max.
I am JT3K.
And we are off.